Hello, my scrappy friends. It's Michelle the Snapburger, and I am here today to make a layout using the new Good Life collection from Close to My Heart. This collection is beautiful. I just struggled with what photos I wanted to use with it. I got the workshop kit so I could have the extra. Let me show you. So I could have the extra punch outs. I don't plan on making the layouts that are designed, but if this is really nice because it gives you all of the cutting instructions and then tells you exactly how to put the layout together, and it's 3 2-page layouts. Now, I decided I wanted to tell the story of when we got our refrigerator. It came up in my Facebook memories the other day, and I took a screenshot of it so I could remember. But from the day our refrigerator died to when we finally got a new one was like 7 weeks and 2 days, I believe. And we had the hardest time deciding what we wanted. We went back and forth. So anyway, I just wanted to tell the story. We didn't live without a refrigerator. Don't worry. We had a second refrigerator, but we're used to having 2. So anyway, so we replaced our old white one with this silver one, or not silver, stainless steel. Okay, so originally I was thinking I would just make a 1-page layout with this photo, probably printed at 4x6. This is 3x4, or maybe 3.5x5. I don't know, and just really jazz it up, and then maybe having a pocket page with these. But then I decided I wanted to put them all across here, kind of like in order. So here Lowe's arrives, and here they are coming through our door. We had to take the door off, and here it is in the kitchen. Now this one is it was taken landscape and not portrait. So I had to print it this way. So instead of like having 4 in a row going across, it's not going to work. But I think I can do that. And then I used this alphabet thin cuts called Slim, and I took my Harbor cardstock and I glued 2 sheets together with just my ATG gun, right? And then I ran it through, so it cut 2 pieces already glued together, and I did that twice, and then I glued them all together. So actually each letter is 4 cardstocks thick, but I only had to like glue, and I like to use this quickie pen or my Barely Arts glue, but this works really well. It has such a fine tip. It's like a pencil tip. And it gives you room to slide them around. Anyway, I want to spell out the word finally. And maybe ... maybe an exclamation point. I haven't figured it out. There's not any of that width that comes with this. But I liked it because they were tall and thin. So I'm not sure where it'll go, but what I have in my head is that I want to mat these in white, and then I want to mat them again in a couple of different pattern papers. And then up here at the top, okay, so I haven't even cut into this collection yet, right? I love this Harbor gingham. And then on the back side is this really distressed. And then I love this like sheet metal. And on the back is this mocha tiny polka dot. What I was thinking could layer them up here. I've even seen it where it's at an angle, but I don't think I have enough room. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a header here and distress them. And then I'll have something down here. And then behind the photos, I want to do some tags. First, I was looking for a tag die that was actually as big as the photos and actually make the photos on the tags. And that actually might still work. I cut these down. They were 3x4. And I believe, okay, so now they're 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. I didn't cut this one down though, I don't believe. There just wasn't room. But it didn't matter because it's not going to go on a tag. Or I could use a tag die and slide them underneath. Right? So, and then I have a lot to say, and so I will probably put my journaling behind one of these photos to slide out. Either that, or I could put that back up there, and then behind it have a tag that actually goes into a little pocket on the back side of the cardstock. So let me get everything ready, and I will put you on fast forward. All right, so I'm just going to do a voiceover for the rest of this video. What I did is I cut 2-inch strips from the 3 pattern papers for the top header. Sadly, what I forgot is that mocha brown is the back side of the sheet metal. So I could have just cut into 2 pieces of paper, but I cut into 3. And you know what? It's okay. But I didn't know if you caught that or not. And then I decided I should distress them. So I used my distress tool from Close My Heart. That's no longer available, but it works so well. A few places I do end up having to use my scissors because down at the bottom you'll see I went ahead and put them down and I did not distress it ahead of time. I do wish that I had used some brown ink and I had inked all the edges. If I had to do it over, I would definitely ink all the edges. At least the edges that I did not distress. But I did not. So it is what it is. But, you know, I'm kind of a perfectionist and I can always find something that I wish I would have done differently about a layout. But in the end, what's important is that the layout is done. So here I am just trying to figure out where I want that title. I mean, I could have cut it out of different sized letters. But I was determined to use these that I had planned on using. And I'm just kind of fiddling around with where I want my photos. And what I was saying earlier is that I thought I had more photos. And I do have more photos, but really I only needed these 4 to tell a story. But when I was thinking about making the a 2-page layout basically, or 2 companion pages, and I was going to use the one of my husband and me in front of the refrigerator as like a big focus photo, and then a pocket page with the others, I was thinking I had more photos to make a pocket page with. You know, like it would have been like a 6x12 with like 3x4 pockets, vertical. And so anyway, it doesn't matter. In the end, I didn't need it. I just put them all on one page. And here I am just trying to get everything straight. I noticed after I put this gingham down at the top, and I used my Versamat, and then I cut the back, but I noticed somehow the gingham stripes were a little off, and they're still a little bit off, and I don't know why. It's a mystery to me, but so that's why I decided, mostly that's why I just started to distress the edge of it at the top, was to kind of camouflage it. Yeah, right there, I'm having to pull it up. I'm like, why is that crooked? Like, it looks straight at the bottom, but at the top, the pattern is crooked. So I straightened it up a little bit, but I really don't know what happened. I really don't. And I matted all those photos in white and then in 2 different pattern papers, and I kind of alternated which papers. And yeah, usually I can get my paper cut fairly well, matting, like just eyeing it. And when I cut my photos down, then it makes it a little harder to just like go, oh, okay, so 3 by 4, now I need 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now I need 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. I think what I need are those We Are Memory Keepers mat rulers. I just saw someone using them on a video, and I'm like, I think I really do need those. Like, I told myself I don't, like I'm not that particular, but I really think I do. Does anyone have those, and do you use them much? Are they worth the money? Because Black Friday is coming up and Christmas is coming up, and maybe that's something I can put on my list, my wish list, or I can just buy it for myself and wrap it. I did that last year. What did I buy myself? Oh, and here's a tip. I had put the Sizzix Sidekick in my cart at joann.com, and it just has sat there. And then Black Friday came, and there was this huge discount, and it was already in my cart. So, I got it for, I don't know, $25, $27. It was super cool, and it was already in my cart. So I think I'm gonna do that this year. Find some things I want and put them in my cart ahead of time, and then on Black Friday I will be ready to go. So I'm really glad that I bought the workshop kit, because it has all of the extra, basically die cuts. You punch them out, but they're, the die cuts. So I use quite a few on there. I use them underneath the title to make kind of a base for the title to sit on. I use a few stickers as well. Up there in the upper left, 2 of the tags were off of the punch out sheets, and then I made a third to kind of with the gingham paper. And I end up not putting my journaling back there. I decided to add it in the upper right, and you'll see that later. And I used a 3 by 4 flip flap that Close to My Heart makes. And I cut off the adhesive strip, and then I used red line tape to tape it to the back, adhere it to the back of my layout, and I used my 1-inch circle punch to punch a half a circle on the back side of it, just so it's a little bit easier to slide the tag in and out with. And so I don't have my journaling printed yet, but I'm going to print it on the clear sticker Avery labels. So I'm going to type it out on my computer and then print it out on there. And yeah, so I like to, and looking at my video, I like to use both wax paper to put stickers on, plus I like to take the sticky off with my anti-static pouch that's original purpose for embossing. I like to do both. And let's see what else. I pull out 2 different stamp sets that are like mixed media looking. And I like to use them because you can add mixed media without any of the mess. And I pull them out and I try them like on a scratch piece of paper in the harbor. And then I don't end up using them. I really think it's because I already had everything glued down. And then in the end, because I have 4 photos on this layout, there wasn't much room to add it anyway. Not a whole lot. I did sprinkle some Harbor Mist, Harbor from my shimmer pen. I kind of squeezed a little bit onto acrylic block and then kind of just flicked it onto my layout in the 3 clusters. And let's see. So yeah, I'm just working on that title cluster. And I didn't tell you the story about the refrigerator really. So we knew we wanted a new refrigerator. We have 2 old refrigerators. One came with our house, and we got the house in 2006, and the refrigerator was about 3 years old. And the other refrigerator we brought with us, and I bought it in about 2000. Both white, side by side. So one was in the kitchen and one was in the laundry room off the kitchen. And so we always were just waiting for it to, one of them to die, right? We weren't going to buy a new refrigerator until we had to. And my husband kept fixing it. Like the ice maker would go out and he would replace it. He replaced parts. I mean, he was just always fixing it. I don't think it was ever going to die. So it finally did die. Of course, then it was a crisis, right? You know, you got to find a place to put all your stuff. And it didn't all fit in the back refrigerator, I don't think. I might have had to borrow a little bit of my mom's freezer. I can't remember, but she lives next door. But anyway, so then we couldn't decide on the depth of it, and we couldn't decide on the width of it. You know, there's counter depth refrigerators which aren't as deep. They don't stick out as far out of like away from the kitchen cabinets. And so we actually like measured out some that we were looking at, and we put blue tape down on the floor where the refrigerator, how far it would stick out. And then we kind of like tried it out to see if it was stuck out too far for us to walk around. And then we did like way too much research online about brands. I asked on Facebook and everybody told me something different about every refrigerator, you know. And then we went shopping for them, and we went to a place called Cons, which, if you ask me, they tried to con us. Like, even with good credit, they were trying to like overcharge, and I don't know, we were looking for like 0% interest, so we didn't have to pay it all at once, but we didn't want to pay interest either. And so then we decided with Lowe's, but then their 24 months, no interest wasn't even going on then. So then we had to wait. And we wanted a French door refrigerator, but do you want like one drawer pulling out, or do you want a drawer for the freezer and then a drawer above it for the refrigerator? Do you want the water on the door, the water in the refrigerator, one ice maker, 2 ice makers? Do you want the ice maker that's integrated in the door, the ice maker that isn't? I mean, there's so many options, right? And then there's even the fancy ones that have like that whole panel on the right that's like a computer. And I wasn't really interested in that, but I knew I wasn't going to compromise on the refrigerator that I wanted when we hadn't had a new one in, you know, almost 20 years. So in the end, I love it. It does, I think it's an LG, and it does have an ice maker in the door, and it does have an ice maker in the bottom drawer, and I love that. I thought I wanted the no water dispenser on the door, and my son was like, what? You have to have water on the door. And in the end, I do like it better. Had to open the refrigerator to just get cold water. But, I make sure everybody knows, you can't put your cup directly onto the dispenser thing. I don't want it to scratch like the paint off the plastic there. And, you got to clean up all your water spills with your Norwex EnviroCloth. And I've only cleaned it with my Norwex stainless steel EnviroCloth, and it's perfect. So, but I really thought my husband and I were going to get a divorce over it. We kind of just backed away for a while because we couldn't agree. And I don't know why it's such a big decision, but finally we finally decided, and Lowe's had it, and they had the financing. And then when they delivered it, it actually rained. And I live in West Texas, where we're always very happy when it rains because it's a dry climate. And we usually are praying for rain, but not the day that they're going to deliver it and they have to bring it in the mud. But it is what it is, right? Oh, and then it wouldn't come in the door, and we had to take the door off the front door. And maybe the door, I don't know, I guess we didn't take the doors off the refrigerator, but the front door came off, and it just barely fit. It was closer to go through the back door, but it wasn't going through the laundry room door into the kitchen. So in through the front door and through the house it came. It was quite an adventure. And so now I have all stainless steel appliances in my kitchen. I have a new dishwasher, the refrigerator, the microwave, but the stove. So now we're waiting for that stove to go out because it's white. It is a glass top, but we just don't buy new things unless they need to be replaced. And so waiting for that stove so I can have all my appliances matched. They're not all the same brand, but it doesn't matter to me. I want, I'm happy. So anyway, here I'm showing my layout. I think I'm finished, but in the end, I add that tag in the upper right. Here is the photo of that flip-flap in the back, and then the front side of the tag, and then just some still shots. So I will leave the link down below for this workshop kit. I highly recommend you get it. I myself am gonna buy some more paper. I just love this paper, and I can see I can use it for a lot of different things besides just like home life, the theme, right? So I hope you are having a great day, and thank you so much for stopping by. Take care. Bye-bye.